a 5th grader, so I have everything I need to make my watercolor techniques skill builder here. So I have watercolors, I have a cup of water, I have watercolor paper, which is textured, watercolor brush that's soft and fluffy like mommy's makeup brushes. I have a thin Sharpie, a ruler, and a paper towel that's crunched up. So let's go ahead and divide up our watercolor technique paper. So this is just a small piece of scrap watercolor paper. And so far I made a horizontal line and I wrote Mrs. Lawler's watercolor techniques on it. Okay. Next step, I'm going to divide it in half horizontally here. So horizontal line like the horizon, just approximately. You can measure if you want to, but you do not have to. Now I'm going to divide these sections in thirds. So there'll be 3 boxes at the top and 3 boxes at the bottom. In order to do that, I will make 2 dots. I'm going to make a dot about here and a dot about here. Then I'm going to change those dots into vertical lines. One there and one more here. Now I have 6 sections. I'm going to label each section so I know what to paint and what they look like at the end. So I'm going to write the word dry wash here, wet wash, and if I'm going too fast, just hit the pause button. Color gradient, color lifting, texture, and then the last box is your free choice. So you can make up your own technique or combine techniques there. So once again, I have dry wash, wet wash, color gradient, color lifting, and texture. So here we go. Let's go ahead and get started with dry wash. So dry wash means dry paper. So we're going to take some color and apply it to the section and do our very best to get a consistent color. Now this is a little bit tricky to get a consistent color. See right there, that's much more vibrant than my last application. Because the paper is dry, it's a little bit trickier to get a consistent color. We want a nice consistent color. So we're just going to move the paint around and it's very nice and vibrant. Now let's try another technique. This is called a wet wash. So we're just painting water in the section. And then we're going to add some color and we're just going to scoot around the color. Scoot it around there. Scoot the color around, and as the color is pushed around, it is nice and consistent and easy to blend, and that's because it started off with that wet paper. Now let's try color gradient. Again, if at any point you need to pause me, just go right ahead to catch up. So I'm going to paint clean water again, and now this time I'm going to apply color only at the top. I'm going to really scrub my brush. I'm going to apply color at the top. I'm putting a stripe of purple, and then I'm going to take just water to pull that purple down, to blend it out. So I want very vibrant purple at the end, and then it should fade and get lighter as it works towards the bottom. Color lifting. For the color lifting section, we're going to combine techniques. We're going to do the color gradient again, and then we're going to do some color lifting. So I'm starting with clean water. I'm going to apply one color at the top, so I'm going to apply, let's go with red at the top, and orange at the bottom. So now I have 2 different colors applied here, red at the top, orange at the bottom. And now I'm going to simply blend these 2 colors together with some water. So I have red on one side and orange on the other. Not making it homogeneous, not making it all the same, but instead making sure I have orange and then red as 2 different colors. Perfect. Color lifting requires a tissue, so we're going to take a tissue and just kind of crunch it up really little and blot it. Now this could make clouds. You can blot lightly, you could blot more aggressively, and it makes this really cool cloudy texture. Speaking of texture, let's go to our next section. we're going to make some water texture. So I'm going to pick up some blue. I'm going to make waves. You could do this with wet on wet, or you could do that with dry. Here's the wet section. Now I'm going to mix blue and green together, and I'm going to make some more waves, some overlapping waves, so that my paintbrush is making these wave textures. I'm going to go in with just some green, wavy texture, filling in all of my white space, waves. You make big waves or little waves. You can add some purple if you wanted. All these beautiful, cool colors, making ocean colors. There we go. And then the last section is your choice. You get to choose what you want to add to your last section.